The lot was supposed to be chill. A few friends, some cars, maybe a burnout or two. But the second the sun dipped behind the buildings, the air changed. You could feel it. Engines idled, louder. People moved faster. Phone cameras were already up. And then, all at once, chaos erupted. You've never seen a car meet like this. Screaming launches, sideways, slides, flames lighting up the pavement, and engines howling into the night like mechanical wolves. This wasn't a gathering. It was a storm, and Crazy Cars was right in the middle of it. It started slow, the way it always does. A group of imports in one corner, muscle cars in the other, trucks and off-roaders off to the side, everyone sizing each other up. Just enough revs to say, "I'm here." But then, out of nowhere, a white body, 240SX, came flying around the back of the lot in a full drift. No warning, just tires shrieking and the engine bouncing off the limiter. People scattered, phones raised. The car slid so close to a parked Charger that you could measure the gap in credit card width. The crowd screamed in unison. And just like that, the fuse was lit. After that first slide, the energy exploded. One by one, more drivers jumped in. A bagged BMW E36 threw itself sideways, paint glinting under the lot lights. Then a Dodge Challenger with a Procharger setup lit the tires in a slow, controlled burnout. The driver holding a vape in one hand and the wheel in the other. Someone cranked up music. Bass thumped against car doors. It felt like every vehicle in a 5-mile radius had shown up, each one crazier than the last. And that's when the real madness started. Somebody pulled out cone. Someone else marked a line with burnout rubber. Launches were happening every 30 seconds. A guy in a turbocharged Miata launched so hard he lifted the front wheels. A Tesla Model S Plaid responded by silently blasting down the makeshift strip, leaving nothing but stunned silence in its wake. Then a C5 Corvette popped and banged all the way down the line, throwing flames with every shift. The sound was so violent, it set off multiple car alarms. No one cared. In fact, the alarms became part of the soundtrack. Everywhere you turned, there was a scene unfolding. A group was crowded around an FDRX7, with its hood off, the rotary idling high, like it was angry. Next to it, a twin-turbo Mustang with steam pouring from its fenders. Not smoke. Steam. It was running so hot the night air around it shimmered. Across the lot, a group was filming a guy in a rusted-out Civic hatchback, revving to the moon, the tack redlining over and over again. It shouldn't have survived it, but somehow it did. And then came the burnouts. Controlled chaos gave way to outright mayhem. One after another, cars lined up to roast rubber into oblivion. A Silverado with a twin-turbo Duramax started the show, black smoke pouring out in thick clouds. As it burned all 4 rear tires at once, the noise was deafening. Then came a Camaro ZL1 with slicks. It did a burnout so long, so aggressive, that it disappeared entirely in smoke. When it finally rolled out, the tires were melted to the cords, and the driver just smiled. Didn't say a word. He didn't need to. The rev battles were equally unhinged. A straight-piped 350Z shot flames so violently, they scorched the bumper of the car behind it. An SRT Charger with a cam so lumpy it sounded like it was falling apart revved next to a V12 Aston Martin. And for a moment, it was like listening to two worlds scream at each other. Domestic muscle versus British ele. And in the middle of it all, a guy on a bike revved until his engine almost gave up, just to get a few seconds of thunderous applause. But it wasn't just the builds that made the night unforgettable. It was the vibe. Everyone there was riding that same high. Total strangers helping each other fix timing issues, patch boost leaks, zip-tie bumpers back into place. No one cared how much your build cost. If you showed up, ran hard, and made noise, you were family. And when that one guy in the S2000 snapped an axle mid, 4 different people offered him parts right there on the spot. That's the kind of unity you don't find anywhere else. Things hit a peak when a guy showed up in what looked like an old farm truck. Faded green paint, rusted tailgate, absolutely nothing about it said fast until he hit the gas. The thing launched like a rocket, straight piped and turbocharged, blowing everyone's minds. It was louder than anything else there. And it took off so violently people had to dive out of the way. But no one was mad. They were stunned. That truck became the star of the night. Every phone was on it. Every eye tracked it. That moment alone could have gone viral a dozen times over. There was one final matchup that felt like destiny. A built Supra MK4 massive turbo, deep idle. Stickers from every tuner shop in the state lined up against a brand new Dodge Demon 170. Barely broken in. The Supra revved and bounced so violently, you could hear compressors surge from the sidewalk. The Demon just rumbled. Calm, confident. The light dropped, and they launched. The Supra spun hard off the line, but found grip and rocketed forward. The Demon shot ahead instantly with all that torque. But by halfway through, the Supra caught up. The two screamed side by side into the darkness. No one could tell who won. Didn't matter. The run was perfect. As the clock passed midnight, the smoke thickened. The lot looked like a movie set. Broken zip ties littered the ground. Empty tire chunks. The air reeked of burnt clutch and spent ethanol. But no one left. They lingered, talking, comparing builds, telling each other, "Did you see that Mustang launch? Or what was in that Accord?" Everyone trying to hold on to the feeling for just a few minutes longer. Because that's what this is all about. It's not just about speed or sound or who has the biggest turbo. It's about the energy, the community, that feeling when an engine screams past you and for a second, you forget everything else in your life. These meets are therapy. They're where gearheads go to breathe. And even in the chaos, there's respect, there's passion, and most importantly, there's unity in the madness. If this gave you chills, if you could smell the tire smoke through your screen, if your heart jumped with every launch, you already know what to do. Smash that like button, drop a comment, and tell us your favorite moment or, better yet, your wildest carmeet story. And don't you dare leave without subscribing to Crazy Cars. Because this was just one night, and the next one's already coming. Stay loud, stay wild, and stay fast.